at the airport. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack. If you remember, U.S. forces were sent to Baghdad just a couple of days ago after protesters tried to storm the U.S. embassy. We'll continue to keep an eye on what's going on in Baghdad tonight.
All right, thank you, Adam. Meanwhile, new information is emerging about the condition of the most seriously injured victim in the New York Hanukkah stabbings. Joseph Newman's family agreed to release a graphic photo of their father, and the outlook is grim.
As ABC's Aaron Katursky explains, they are making an appeal for an end to anti-Semitic attacks.
72-year-old Joseph Newman has been unconscious since Saturday when an attacker armed with a machete rushed into a rabbi's home in Muncie, New York, wounding 5 people during a Hanukkah celebration.
The swinging is a sword, knife, I don't know what it was, back and forth, hitting people.
Newman's daughter says he remains in a coma. His doctors say the prognosis is not good.
If he wakes up, he may never be able to walk, talk, or even process speech again.
The family released this image to show the severity of Newman's injuries and the horror of the attack.
Please stand up and stop this hatred. It cannot keep going on.
The suspect, 38-year-old Grafton Thomas, is now charged with attempted murder, as well as federal hate crimes. Investigators say journals found in Thomas's home appear to express anti-Semitic sentiments and refer to the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. Prosecutors also say there were references to Hitler, as well as drawings of the Star of David and a swastika. Thomas's attorney says his client has a long history of mental illness, but no history of anti-Semitism.
My impression from what I have read in my conversation with him is there are severe psychiatric issues.
Investigators are now using forensics to determine if Thomas is connected to an unsolved stabbing of a Hasidic man in the same town.
The vehicle is still being examined forensically for any, we'll call it, say, trace evidence of any kind of connection, if there even is one.
Prosecutors plan to present Thomas's case to a grand jury on Friday. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
When a gunman stood up at a Texas church on Sunday, Richard White stepped in to stop the violence. White was killed along with another man at the West Freeway Church of Christ. He was a member of the church's security team, and today his family and friends gathered in the town of White Settlement in Texas for his funeral. Texas Governor Greg Abbott was also there to offer his condolences.
He lived such a rich life, and I'm so proud of what he did to step up and help his fellow Texans.
White's family praised his actions, saying that he saved many lives during the shooting.
A terrifying morning for drivers in Merced County when a man went on a roadway rampage. Police say a man started driving his truck into several vehicles for no apparent reason. He slammed into an ambulance, flipping it on its side. That driver was not seriously hurt. He then targeted a car pulled over off the freeway, the driver and his wife resting. The truck T-bones them twice and then chases them after they escape, running for their lives.
The guy chased us with his car and then made some racist, like asked if we were American, are we going to kill him, and if we called the cops. And then we told him, no, just man, can you just turn your car off, because you're scaring us. You just ran us out off of the road and into the bushes.
That couple was rescued by another driver. The man on the rampage was eventually arrested. Police say he was high on meth. And a Michigan man says he hasn't slept after his wife vanished suddenly before Christmas. Casey Wilson says his wife, 34-year-old Rebecca Wolford, always kept him informed of where she was going. On December 22nd, Rebecca was seen leaving her home on foot. Wilson says Rebecca was dealing with some health issues.
She was told to walk to the hospital about 20 minutes from our home here. She wasn't feeling well. She has PTSD.
Wilson says his wife never made it to the hospital and left behind her cell phone, ID, and other important belongings. Police have received a few tips about her possibly being spotted in other nearby cities, and they are following up on those leads.
Now to a developing story. A baby in Texas at the center of a life or death legal battle. Today, a judge ruled that 11-month-old Tinsley Lewis can be taken off of life support.
But as ABC's Marcy Gonzalez explains, the move is against her family's wishes.
Tinsley Lewis's entire 11 months of life have been spent like this, in a Fort Worth ICU hooked up to breathing and feeding tubes that are keeping her alive. But now a judge says the little girl, who was born with a heart defect and suffers from lung disease, can be taken off of life support in 7 days, siding with the hospital, which argued in court that her condition is terminal and that Tinsley is in pain because of her treatment.
And she's suffering as a result of the things that we're doing for her to stay alive.
The case is centered on a Texas law that allows physicians to stop care they believe is futile if another hospital can't be found to treat the patient.
It's not fair, and I don't feel as if it's their right to take somebody's life because they want to stop treatment.
Lawyers debating the law's constitutionality as Tinsley's mother argues her daughter's fate should be her decision.
And if I felt like she was suffering, I would not be where I'm at today, fighting for her life.
Adding in a statement Thursday, I am heartbroken over today's decision because the judge basically said Tinsley's life is not worth living.
And she's made it this far. I know she's going to continue to fight for her life.
And Tinsley's mother says she now plans to continue that fight by appealing this judge's decision. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
The Detroit Fire Department says a burning home seen in a Facebook post with firefighters posing in front of it was vacant. That's not stopping criticism from coming in, though. The photo was meant to be a farewell to a fire chief who was retiring today. The Detroit Fire Department saying the home was vacant and conditions forced a defensive position, not allowing crews to go inside to knock the fire down. Some neighbors don't mind as long as the fire didn't spread.
As long as the fire was put out and that it didn't spread to any other, houses in the neighborhood, that was fine. I mean, I appreciate their promptness in getting there, putting the fire out. That's all I was concerned about.
The Detroit Fire Commissioner said there are a lot of ways to celebrate a retirement. Taking a photo in front of a building fire is not one of them.
A Texas man known for claiming affluenza is part of his defense trial in a fatal DUI crash is now back in jail. 22-year-old Ethan Couch was arrested this morning after violating his probation. He tested positive for THC and is being held without bail. Couch was on probation after being released from jail in April of 2018. He was dubbed the affluenza teen during his trial for killing 4 people in a 2013 drunk driving crash. Dramatic video shows a car plunging off a cliff along Highway 1, the evidence that has left investigators puzzled.
Oh my God, guys!
And a massive 1,000-pound great white shark caught by fishermen. What they did with it next.
Let's get a check on that traffic. Here's Officer Tommy Strickland. How's it look, Tommy?
Oh, we got a couple of more crashes out there. If you're traveling on that northbound 5 to the eastbound 8, we have a 2-car crash. Those vehicles are on the right shoulder. Doesn't look like it's affecting traffic in the area. And then on that southbound 805, you're going to get some slowing at University Avenue. That's due to the fact we have a 3-car crash. Those vehicles are in the center divide. That's going to be southbound 805 north of University Avenue. Once you get past University Avenue, that'll open up for you. I'm Officer Thomas Strickland with your 10 News Time Saver Traffic.
New Year's Day is behind us, but a lot of people got one more chance to see those majestic Rose Parade floats that cruise down Colorado Boulevard. The floral masterpieces, they were on display again today.
As reporter Mark Cotto-Robles shows us, volunteers were also on site to talk about what went into their design.
It's the post-parade showcase in Pasadena. These are the same floats that 24 hours ago stole the international spotlight cruising down Colorado Boulevard.
It's just a wonderful experience. It's just been really exciting.
This is Kenneth Stanley's first time here, and he's having a blast.
Really just the whole atmosphere. People are enjoying themselves. Everybody's in a good mood. There's people literally from all over the world.
This is beautiful, just beautiful.
Those who paid the $20 to get in say it's all worth it.
You get a feeling of the textures that you don't get by looking at it on a TV screen.
Some of them, they have these really pretty flowers, and they're just, it looks really nice, and I like that.
Though it's more than just flowers, most people just can't believe all the materials used to make these floats come to life.
Everything that you see, like fruits, vegetables, everything.
It just makes me crazy to think of just every little detail for so long. That takes a lot of workmanship and a lot of just dedication.
By the way, if you're hungry, you can eat here too.
A best part is the snacks. They were all really good.
I love that being the best part.
Yep, that's usually it, the
People
snacks.
spent months building those things. The snacks are fantastic though. Love that. Love that. That would be us.
Yeah.
All right, make some extra money by renting your garage.
The reason we started it was because we felt the pain of trying to find parking as a student.
Coming up, the new concept that's making its way to San Diego. Searching for a parking spot is a surefire way to make your blood boil, whether it's by the beach, downtown, or even on campus.
Especially this time of year. But as our attendance reporter Amanda Brandeis explains, a new app hopes to relieve your parking pains and help those fighting to make it in San Diego.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
We've all been there, circling around the block, praying for any sign of a backup light leaving a coveted spot.
So driving, I noticed that there is 0 street parking.
It didn't take this Northern California visitor long to see there's some issues here.
Parking has been at a premium.
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the street here and people have to drive around for 10 minutes to find some parking.
Robert Hawk owns property in Ocean Beach and has watched the problem worsen over the decades.
It's a real concern, and I don't know what they can do about it.
But a San Francisco startup thinks it has the answer.
The reason we started it was because we felt the pain of trying to find parking as a student.
Jonathan Barkle co-founded Air Garage. The idea was born while they were students at ASU.
It gets really tough on students, and they're paying upwards of $800 or $1,000 for a year of parking.
So they teamed up with homeowners, small businesses, and churches, places that often have vacant parking spots.
You can, spend all of your time running your church, and then we'll run the parking lot for you.
Barkle says they charge slightly less than existing parking lots, and drivers can earn free parking by joining the peer enforcement system, scanning license plates for violators. Parking lot owners get to keep 70% of their earnings.
One of the churches in the program has 50 spots. They were able to earn over $26,000 in just 1 month.
So far, San Diego only has one Air Garage operator located in Ocean Beach. You pay through the app or by texting a number. Sufferers of parking migraines say they're open to the idea.
Absolutely, anything to help alleviate the congestion.
Searching for parking in OB.
It's awfully crowded down here.
Amanda Brandeis, 10 News.
Probably still searching for that parking spot. The company says about 5 more Air Garages are expected to open here in the next couple of months. The startup is in close to 30 cities.
Great idea. Well, caught on video, a car plunging off a cliff along Highway 1. That scene unfolded Monday in San Mateo County. The video shows a dark SUV speeding along the shoulder before the vehicle drives off the cliff. The SUV doesn't even appear to slow down. Instead, the car goes airborne momentarily before it disappears from the frame. The base of the cliff has water that reaches up to 40 feet deep. Search crews went looking for the car and the driver. So far, they've only found tire tracks and car parts.
All right, a Texas couple thought a magnifying glass would be an innocent gift for their preteen son. That is until he accidentally ignited a fire with it. Caden McKinney's parents posted photos and a video of the family trying to douse the smoking blackened lawn. Turns out he and his 2 brothers went out to the driveway, burned a couple of holes in some newspaper, but that fire spread to the lawn and panicked brothers ran inside screaming for help.
I focused it enough so it was just a little dot, and then it just burned the newspaper wherever the dot was, which was really cool.
Until it burned the driveway. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the brothers have some hefty chores ahead of them here in the next few months.
Well, a slow day on the water turned into a large surprise for a group of fishermen.
We didn't know what it was going to be, but when we finally laid eyes on it, it was like seeing a unicorn. We were just all blown away.
A unicorn with very sharp teeth. The group managed to catch a 13-foot great white shark that weighed over 1,000 pounds. They had been on a charter fishing boat just off the coast of Fort Lauderdale for several hours, waiting on that perfect catch. Then they started to feel the boat pulling.
Eventually we got a big bite, and it was a hell of a fight. It took everyone on the boat to catch it.
The group got the shark close enough to capture video and pictures, and then they let it go.
This 10 News Pinpoint Weather Report is sponsored by Anderson Plumbing, Heating and Air. Nobody wows clients like we do.
It's like the line from Jaws, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would need, that was a big shark too, wow.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a great experience though. And we had beautiful weather today all around the county, a beautiful sunset with some nice high clouds, making it so much more picturesque. And our 10 News weather watchers, we're ready, including Rich in Oceanside. You can see this beautiful shot by the pier. And as we take you to Chula Vista, also a gorgeous evening with some high clouds there too. In downtown, it is a lovely night, 65 degrees, the winds out of the north-northwest. That light onshore flow is going to continue and is also keeping those high clouds near the shoreline. It will be gusty in the mountains, but not as bad as earlier this week. Coastal areas will enjoy a nice sea breeze and those high clouds before we actually get a touch of fog for the weekend. Warmer temperatures will be returning on Friday and sticking around into next week. So far tonight, we've been watching the winds, but they're not really a concern. In Alpine, going up to 13 miles per hour, so just starting to see that wind just kind of get together. High pressure is setting up through the west coast, and that's allowing conditions to improve, to warm up, and also to bring a lot more sunshine. But we're going to see another round of St. Anna winds, and this could happen multiple times in the 7-day forecast. As a result, we're going to see those numbers ranging above normal for more than a couple of days. Tonight, we'll stay in the upper 30s in Palomar Mountain. Tonight, 47 in Kearney Mesa, 51 in La Jolla, and then over towards San Diego, 48 degrees. Also upper 40s in Chula Vista. A chilly night in the North County from Fallbrook to Carlsbad. As we fly around the county, 71 degrees in Poway, 70 in Spring Valley, 68 degrees in National City. Let's make our way up to Santee, 70 tomorrow, 65 La Jolla, and a lot better in Del Mar with temperatures in the upper 60s. 70s in Fallbrook, 68 in Valley Center, and 70 also in Escondido, 68 degrees in Carlsbad. Most of the wind will be targeting the mountains. The winds will be out of the east there. But near the coast, you have the winds out of the west. So in between, not really too many problems for our inland communities. But that easterly flow does bring a warm up for tomorrow. 69 degrees in average at the coast, above normal temperatures through the beginning of next week. Lots of sunshine. The biggest change we'll see near the coast will be Saturday morning with the potential for some fog. And of course, we still have a high surf advisory in effect until 4 a.m. Saturday as well. The waves already peaked today, so it'll start to get better. Expect some big swells tomorrow once again. 70 inland, 69 Saturday. Next week, mid-70s to start the first full week of 2020. And then over the mountains, 54 degrees, gusty at times, expecting those winds going up to 20, 30 miles per hour. They could be stronger for the beginning of next week, although temperatures there will stay in the 50s. In the deserts, around 70, close to 70 near the coast. Inland, all around, a nice warm up for tomorrow.
Perfect San Diego weather.
Yes.
It's gorgeous out there. We know the surf has been great, but we got to tell beginners this is not the time to go out there at
Not
all.
the time. It's not safe. You want to, if you know how to swim, if you're brave enough, go out there. Otherwise, no.
Even the experienced surfers, this is tough stuff. Angelica, thank you. Neighbors in North Park say the graffiti problem in their neighborhood is worse than ever. They got tired of waiting for a solution, so some are taking on the problem themselves. It is a story our 10 News reporter Cassie Carlisle is working on for 10 News at 6. Cassie.
Yeah, good evening, Steve. He just really wants to raise awareness, enlist neighbors to just file reports on the Get It Done app of the graffiti. Let me show you some of what we saw today. It was just absolutely incredible. For blocks in either direction along El Cajon Boulevard, every surface imaginable was covered in graffiti or signs where it was blotted out. Neighbors concerned that that could mean the presence of gangs or wannabe gang members, saying if the spray paint isn't washed away, vandals can feel entitled to the area and set up shop. Now, coming up tonight on 10 News at 6, I'll tell you what businesses are doing to try and battle that vandalism.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Cassie. Coming up, the 5-inch dragon horn doctors removed from a man's back after he ignored the signs of skin cancer for 3 years.
And a single mother was tipped $2,020. How she plans to use the unexpected cash. Doctors in the UK say they are baffled after removing a 5-inch dragon horn from a man's back. And we do want to warn you, you might find the image disturbing. According to the British Medical Journal, that's disturbing. The cancerous growth sprouted out of his back despite him having no history of skin cancer. Doctors say the man let the tumor grow for 3 years. I'm just going to let you enjoy this. He had to have surgery to remove it.
I cannot look at that. Okay, yeah. Sorry for everybody at home. A waitress's life completely changed after 2 of her regulars left her a New Year's surprise. Danielle Franzioni is a waitress at Thunder Bay River Restaurant in Alpena. The couple sitting at her table had a $23 tab, but they left her a very generous tip.
Wow.
$2,020.
They wrote on the receipt, "Happy New Year, Danielle, 2020 tip challenge." I cried. I started crying and went right to my manager and asked him if it was real.
Danielle is a single mother of 3 with another daughter on the way. She is now 2 years sober and was living in a homeless shelter before landing that job as a waitress. She says the $2,020 tip she received was a really big deal. She says it actually allowed her to move into her very own home.
What a sweet story. 2020 tip challenge. Didn't know about that.
Awesome.
Okay. Might have to chip in, maybe not that much, but yeah. A military mother is deported to Tijuana while her family pleads for someone to intervene. How they're now trying to help her